You're listening to the Beer Craft Beer and Brewing Podcast. Tune in every Wednesday night at 6:30 Pacific for a dose of beer and brewing banter with your hosts, Ben Holm and Andrew Ziegler.
So hop aboard for some wit and wisdom in the Pacific Northwest, because it's always beer 30 on
The Beer Craft.
Welcome back to the Beer Craft. Today we are going to unravel a little bit of beer history, little hops, little nerd history. We're unpacking my least favorite hop.
All right.
Yeah,
that's Columbus.
It is too. Fucking hate it, but it's not. Good. It's got an interesting backstory.
I thought it
that
deserves
an
interesting aroma, and that would be
like
diesel.
Diesel
butt,
gasoline,
diesel butt cheese,
and assholes. Yeah, that's where
diesel
I
butt
live.
cheese.
I spent a lot of time with my head in bags of hops, and that one always. It always gave me a headache every time I would open that bag and hang out for more than 2 minutes.
Sounds pretty dank.
It affected me. So it's not my favorite thing. It does get used. I've used it in a lot of different beers.
Well, I've used it a lot. Yeah. I love it. I like it.
I'm just going to hold my breath when I do it. But it has an interesting history. I think you might like it. I certainly did. But before we do that, we've got to wet our whistle. We've got to pay some bills. Mostly we've got to drink beer, so that means it's
that time of day.
That time of day. It's beer 30. Beer 30. Let's have a beer. Let's have beer.
You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I brought us a good beer this week. I got us a Structures limited release.
Structures in Bellingham.
Ooh, I got that one. This is called Diane Haynes, but with raspberry, but that's I'm gonna take second chair.
You're just like that's a teaser beer. Like, don't look at this beer. We're gonna drink this one first.
Well, this one was one I bought from Structures a couple of months ago.
That was a cool looking can.
Yep. And I left it in the Jeep, and it showed up again when I got back to Structures. This time.
Were you rolling it?
I was
deliberately.
Yeah, rolling it around. You know, it is a smoothie beer, so
because you want the particulate suspension in case it settled out. So this is gonna have. Are you saying this is gonna have floaties in it?
No, not really.
Just that thick.
Just that thick.
A lot of. It's like a Hefeweizen on suspension.
Really good.
That's not pink. That's pank. It's opaque.
Opaque.
Poor
nice. Oh, see that. See that?
It does come out a little syrupy, doesn't it?
Look at that.
It's got some viscosity.
Oh, it did have a.
Oh, that one's yours. You touched it.
That'll be mine. A little something in there.
I found a floaty.
Protein. Here, I'm going to dump a little of this in here. Then I'm going to dump a little of this in there. Oh, shit. I just dumped it in all the fly mess.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's all finger beer.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Look at that.
Well, that's...
Wow.
Holy crap.
Wow. We are literally dumping this out of the bottom of the can, and it's like preserves.
It's tomato soup concentrate.
It is. It is very tomato soup.
Looks like the Campbell's
consistency. All right. Don't mind my finger.
I guess I won't. You might be drinking it all anyway. Wow, that's a lot of... I'm going to get the paper towels. Holy hell.
That'll do us.
A smooth emphasis on the smoothie portion of this smoothie beer.
That's right. So this is called... From Structures Brewing High Sprunch. This is traditional smoothie, sour style ale. It has pineapple, guava, some of your favorite stuff in there. Passion fruit. What do we call that? The
passion fruit, orange, and guava.
Yeah, pog. And it also has apple, mango, tangerine, and apricot. Now, I don't know the ratio of all that. I'm sure it's not an equal ratio.
It looks like it's got a lot of fruit in it. It's got. It's a colloid suspension of particles in there.
It is a smoothie for sure. Yeah. I mean, it looks like I went and got a fruit smoothie from the store. It
smells like a Dwala. Remember that shit?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I love that stuff.
It would be cool. 12. How many ABVs is this? 6.8% Odwalla.
Okay. Odwalla 6.8. Actually, it's really good.
It's thick like an Adwala.
It is too. Yeah.
Okay. And we're calling this beer.
Are we?
I don't know. It was kind of a question. They just said smoothie style sour, traditional smoothie style ale.
Style ale. Okay.
How traditional is the smoothie style? Is it like the new tradition from 2 weeks ago we started doing this?
If you're a fly on the wall in our studio, it's pretty damn traditional because they know nothing but.
It drinks a little bit. It's very juicy.
Mm-hmm. It is the consistency of tomato soup.
Yeah. I'm glad it doesn't taste like tomato soup. But it did kind of look at that way.
Yeah, if you make tomato soup,
like the before adding water portion of your tomato soup,
water to your Campbell's tomato soup, that's actually the consistency of this.
So I bet you're gonna rush out and buy it now, aren't you?
You can't.
Oh, it's limited. We have the last tomato smoothie, or was this the one that was rolling around in your truck?
This is the one that was rolling around. Yeah,
very fun.
Yeah, it was good. Nah, it was well preserved. It was well preserved. And actually, I bought a 4-pack, and 2 of them disappeared. And somehow they were replaced with a couple of other really good ones.
Makes me want to add like champagne to it, like a beer mosa kind of.
Yeah.
It's that thick, and
shot of whiskey, maybe.
Maybe some more bubbles would be nice. Because like I'm struggling.
Well, we've
poured it a few times now.
Yeah,
we
did.
Like to try
but
to.
It was super thick. I mean,
yeah,
we
like what do
rolled
you
it.
do? Yeah.
We rolled that around how many times?
Yeah.
And still
half of it was on the bottom.
I should have like.
Blup, blup.
I don't think this is quite like that one, but here, let's turn that upside down.
Just on the safe side.
Yeah, woo. So how the hell are you today, Ben?
I'm pretty good. Now I've got some beer,
some smoothie in you?
Some smoothie beer.
Good. I heard that. It was like a bubble.
Yeah, it's like it's in my throat right there.
That's funny. Well, I'm kind of bummed
it's so
out.
viscous.
I'm down a chick.
Oh, did you lose one of your birds?
Well, I don't know where she is today. Woke up, she was gone. So that's good. And the rest of the 3 others were under the rhododendron.
No feathers.
Kind of like hiding. Nope.
Yeah, because I know raccoon will make a fucking mess out of it.
Yeah, I was thinking if she was like grabbed by an animal, then there would be feathers around, or unless she was just grabbed and just taken off.
Yeah.
But no, that would be a coyote probably, but no coyote's going to jump over here. I think a bird of prey got her. Because they'd be like right out in the yard, and she's white, and so she's very easy to
stands
see.
out in a crowd.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Well, hopefully, it doesn't mark his territory. Like, oh, I'm gonna come back here,
right?
And see how else we got.
Where's the smorgasbord?
Yeah. My sister-in-law lost a bunch of chickens to an eagle.
Yeah. I've lost them to the eagle.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been the same thing, but usually, I saw the eagle came down, jumped on it, and like ripped it in half and then took off. So this one is just, I mean, even like a peregrine falcon or something could come and just grab
I've seen. It was
tiny.
I remember we had a falcon dive bomb a pigeon, or not a pigeon. It was a robin in our yard. The robin was pestering the dog, and the peregrine pestered the hell out of the robin right back. Oh, we just saw a puff of feathers, like do poof, gone. You know, like Randy Johnson when he hit that bird with a pitch, like,
seagull?
Dusted the fucking thing.
Did. It just turned into a poof of feathers. Yeah. Somebody did that recently. Somewhere else. Got a bird with something. I don't think it was a football though.
Swooping down for a fucking hot dog, the ball boy dropped and dusted. Yeah.
Oh golly.
So it's got a pucker factor. This thing does.
Well, pineapple, guava, passion fruit. Yeah. Apple, mango, tangerine,
and then it's a
apricot.
sour ale. So,
okay, so let's try to find the sour ale in this.
I'm struggling to find the beer in there.
Yeah, no ale.
It's very fruit juice.
Okay, now how would I make this? I mean, what would I do? Just brew a super high power, no hop mash bill?
Right. Do you think with like the amount of stuff in suspension is that a
got to be added secondary?
Yeah, like that's not gonna. You're not getting that through primary fermentation.
No,
You're
that's
not
going to be
stick
super
around.
dry. But now you're stuck with what preservatives are in here to, make it not. Is it pasteurized?
Or sorbate added?
Doesn't say.
Beer's not required to label like that.
Yep. I mean, it could have been pasteurized. It probably is because I don't. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, because it drinks like somebody made a beer and then emptied the contents of the blender into it.
Right. Yeah, like I made maybe like a 10% beer.
Yeah.
And then added 30% fruit puree to
dumb it down
to secondary. Then run it through a pasteurizer real quick.
The stuff on the bottom, the carbon dioxide's all in there. I like it. It's sitting on your tongue.
Effervescence?
It's prickling. I'm hard pressed to find the beer, though. I thank you for its contribution.
Wow. I just drank the very bottom of mine. Yeah, it's really...
that's a different thing going on.
It's really good, but it's not... I don't think it qualifies as a...
Beer?
Beer. I mean, it's an alcoholic drink.
Sure.
For real.
Malt sugar.
Yep.
It could be
It's a malt beverage.
Right.
It's a malt beverage.
I didn't taste... I couldn't find a hop in there to save my life.
Right. So you like Four Loko. You wouldn't call Four Loko a beer, would you?
No.
It's made with malt liquor. Malt liquor is made like you would make a beer.
Right.
Yeah, just high power, low volume, low hops. High value, high volume, low hops.
Low value, too. Like,
Low
it's
value.
terrible stuff. Like, no. Yeah. Never was my jam.
It's good when you add the jam to it.
That's what it is. It's like some friggin' yeah.
Very jammy.
They went to the Walmart, got the big bucket of jam and pecked. Like, yeah, that was a lot of pectin
It is.
in there.
Why don't you give me a minute here? Hold on.
Yeah, I think.
I need to wash this glass before we open the second one.
Yeah, like in case the other one looks like beer.
All right.
Sure.
Oh, you'll never know. All right.
Clean glassware for beer
just
number
like
2.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this dye and haze has been turned upside down. This is with raspberries, and I do have
Some inflammation on it.
a descriptor here. So the dye and haze no. This is dye and haze. I don't know it. I got raspberry juice on juice for the description. So this is just a
the
taster.
other one.
Yeah.
Well, that's called good preparation right there.
Yeah.
The last minute beer changes. Don't worry. Don't worry, buddy. It's fine. Another pink one.
This is raspberries. Yeah.
Yeah.
They like their pink.
Same brewery.
Same brewery, Structures Brewing.
Another smoothie, huh?
No, it's not really a smoothie. Okay. This is kind of like their super IPA.
A raspberry
juice,
IPA?
Juice. Yeah.
The juicy, hazy IPA. Well, it's
shit. Pouring a little thick at the bottom again.
yeah.
Here, you don't like them anyways.
Well, this one's kind
this
of
is
a
dye in haze, and they had a limited can release. So it's basically an IPA. I think it's 7.1.
okay. It smells more like an IPA. No head, not a shot. It is.
Yep.
It is like thickly purpley pink.
It is thick purple. Yeah, mauve-y. Raspberries. Now that's raspberries mixed with hops, mixed with yeast.
Yeah, there's a little clash on that.
There is
bitterness there, and I don't know what.
1056.
Does it say what they use for hops on there?
1056 yeast or White Labs 001, is it? It's probably their standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the raspberries clash with the yeast selection. Like if you were to get
I think it's the hop choice.
Hop choice could be.
Yeah, I think the bitterness.
Like it's a leftover. Oh yeah, it's like a really light bitterness, kind of almost like a tannic bitterness. That could be it could be the raspberry seeds. Some of those, I know, strawberry seeds. You leave strawberry on too long, it strips some tannins out of there. From that, yeah. So I'm not sure, or it's just like the bitterness and late edition profile. Like the pine sticks, the piney sea hop sticking out like a sore thumb amongst raspberries. I'm gotta be
trying to figure
pretty
out
savage about this.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of hops they did use in this, and if it'll tell me. You ever use Untapped? And that's not a plug. They do not pay us.
I've been on there once or twice. I don't know if I have the app.
A couple of them on here. Yep. I don't know which one, which hops they use.
I like the name. Not in love with the beer. Like texturally, it's fine. Like the initial IPA hit, fine. There's something in the finish. It kind of finishes
late
soapy,
edition,
bitter.
Late edition hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like it's not Columbus.
So there's a certain flavor that I pick up, and maybe I'm using it. Maybe I'm finding the yeast character in there. I've never been able to really identify it. I mean, whether it's the yeast or if it's this hop. So this has it.
This has whatever that
one. And that's why I said I was thinking it was the 1056 yeast or the White Labs yeast.
Shoot. 1056 doesn't present like that.
No.
It's pretty clean.
Unless it gets old. If it's reused over and over, starts to get crazy.
Yeah, I think it's for me, I think it's a late edition.
Late edition hop
is just a little clashy on the the flavors don't line up right there.
Right.
It's
I agree
initially
with that.
The raspberry is nice. I don't even mind like the thick texture.
Yeah.
It does start to drink quickly like an IPA. Kind of like it changes from like raspberry drink to IPA, but then I exhale, I breathe out, and like that bitterness is just a little like a sore thumb sticking out.
I smell my
smell your microphone now. Yeah. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Well, I was sitting next to this beer drinker. His name is Danimal. So shout out to Danimal.
Hey, Danimal.
I had a good time sitting there chatting it up with him. So
was he into these beers?
Yeah, he was into them. I think he bought some. It was the release of this one here. It was the release.
Oh, that's kind of a fun.
Yeah, and they were selling this. It was just moving out the door. I mean, there was lines. I went and sat at the bar, and I mean the line at the bar coming up like
very
just,
cool. So they build kind of a following on these limited release kind of things.
Yep. Yeah.
And so both the beers were kind of these limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Limited releases.
Interesting. How often do they do that?
I do not know. Every 3 months, 4 months, maybe. I didn't look into that.
Yeah. Kind of interesting, no? Well, I appreciate your bringing those beers down.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes for a good.
It's good. It's a good beer 30. Although, like now, I need another 30. Beer, like a regular ass beer.
Oh, you need a regular beer.
I think I need a regular beer.
All right. Well, let's go get you a regular beer while we listen to a spot from the sponsor.
There we go. Go pay some bills.
All right. See ya.
10 Reasons to Homebrew by Northwest Brewer Supply, Part 3.
Number 3. You will discover if beer is a valid science fair project for the kids. Number 2. It's like baking bread, but the results are more fun at parties. And the number 1 reason to homebrew, because homebrewing is cooking with benefits. moist, delicious, and thirst-quenching benefits.
Straight from the home office in Burlington, it's another Top 10 from Northwest Brewer Supply.
Back, we are beard. We are. I'm currently.
Ben, you have a beard. I do not.
I have a beer.
Oh, beard.
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 You have a goatee. It's like a beard. You are not without the facial hair department.
I'm still working on my smoothie. You got a beer.
I need something with like bitterness to it, or like real beer flavors. Would be great. We're talking about CTZ today. I know I've gone on the air quite publicly in my distaste for these hops, but they do have an interesting story. I thought we could share it with you, and in order to do that, we have to go way back.
Now, are you going to tell me about? Are you going to tell me about how they got this acronym name CTZ?
Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of the show.
Yeah,
no
good,
spoilers.
good.
Goddamn, I can't take you anywhere.
I know it.
So, but before we can talk to any about that, we have to go way back. We have to go back before craft beer had a foothold in the U.S. American brewers at the time, they would work with what they got. It's a limited palette, but it was mostly based on availability. Most recipes relied on hops that had been around forever. You got your European nobles, like your Saaz, your Hallertauer, your Tettnang.
Yep.
Pretty much whatever's over there.
Those are all very subtle hops.
Yeah.
The low in alpha acids, they're clean in character, deeply rooted in the tradition of European brewing. And the job was to provide just that whisper of bitterness and that faint, spicy floral note and aromas that define those classic lager and pilsners.
Yeah, sort of like the hops version of a really polite little golf clap. Just something, in the background. Appreciate it, but not exciting. Definitely not throwing elbows in the flavor department.
No, cluster was one of the big ones. Not noble, not glamorous, but it was everywhere. So if hops were cars, cluster would be that beige Buick of the 70s brewing world.
Oh yeah, I mean they were grown from like New York all the way to Washington.
Is that a Skylark, Buick Skylark?
Yeah, with a shit brown interior. Your grandma had one. My grandma. Everybody's fucking everybody had that goddamn
was that
car.
The beginning of that cloth interior stuff?
Yeah, like velour. We were made with real velours.
Velour. Yeah, I had the coated leather.
So back to the hops, we had a handful of real viable, affordable, guaranteed to get you to grandma's house kind of hops, ruling the American hop scene until the USDA released Cascade hops in 1971. Cascade had a little zing to it, citrus touch, light floral, but it didn't take over right away.
Right. Nuggets showed up in 1972. No, 1970.
Sure did.
Also. Kind of like the guy at the party who brings a bottle of bourbon when everybody else is drinking the light beer. More bitter, higher alpha acids, up to 14%. Brewers were interested, but they're wary of it.
So the USD breeding program back then, it's doing good work, not just not sexy work. I mean, they were focused on keeping hops alive, literally kind of like disease. They were working on disease resistance, higher yields, stuff that would keep farmers up at night. Not, hey, they weren't working on inventing the next hop that tastes like mango sorbet.
Ooh, speaking of smoothie beers, so the average American brewer in the 1970s had only a handful of tools, and none of them would be what you would call adventurous.
Yeah, like building a spaceship with a wrench, a rubber band, and a roll of duct tape. You can get it off the ground, but you were not going to be breaking orbit. This is kind of the beer scene at the time.
And then there came Prosser, Washington.
Oh, yeah. Little town with a big surprise in the brewing at the USDA station. A guy named Zimmerman made a hop that would turn everything literally upside down. So here's the thing, and I've said it on before, and I'll say it again. I don't like Columbus. I don't like it in the field. I don't like it in the bag. Bagging large quantity of this stuff smells like onions, gasoline, and the unventilated end of a CrossFit locker room. It's not good stuff.
The elusive hop aroma known as fresh regret.
So weirdly, though, those qualities don't seem to show up in the final beer, and that's good. I'm glad they don't. I mean, I use it in my flagship IPA. I can't help it. It works. So while I've never handle it again, I can appreciate what it does in the glass.
And what it did for the brewing. I mean,
oh yeah, right,
all over.
Yeah, late 70s, USD breeding station Prosser. Charles Zimmerman develops a new variety Clone 917. These are never sexy names. Like if you look at
it's always a number.
Right, they're catalog numbers. It's just kind of like, what do we? Oh, that's probably like a hop and road designation of the fucking parent. Like,
well, if you're
something
if you're a hop breeder, do you want to give your best name out to like?
Not when it's fucking new. Like not when it's new. You're gonna say like,
shit, I used my best name. For
and that's more of a modern problem.
One.
That's more of a modern problem. Maybe not what was a problem. Not something that would be thought of as a problem in 1971.
Right. Oh, true. But you know what? You give it a numeric designator, and then when it comes time, it's gonna
It's a new name when it gets adopted. Yeah. So this hop had a high alpha acid content, like 14 to 18%.
Perfect.
Big resins, pungent, aggressive. I mean, like it was not your granddad's Saws at all. This thing was busting it open.
He partnered with Hop Union to bring it back to market under the name Columbus.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the way, Yakima Chief started selling what was, genetically speaking, the same hop. And they called theirs the Tomahawk, which was a registered trademark.
Yeah, so this is where you can start queuing the lawsuits. Hop Union and Yakima Chief went to court over naming rights, licensing, and brand new plant patent claims. We didn't get into like plant patenting.
Oh my gosh!
Like was not the big thing till
behind it.
Kind of just after this, like it really starts creeping up. Monsanto starts making waves with like corn and suing farmers for blowing.
Monsanto hops.
Anyways, back to the hops. It wasn't really just a label issue. So these two guys were fighting over control of what would become one of the most important bittering hops in America.
And let's not forget Hopsteiner. They introduced Zeus, which was nearly identical, if not genetically identical, then at least chemically and sensorily.
Yeah, you start getting
the same character,
indistinguishable by any stretch of the imagination.
And you can smell diesel asshole cheese everywhere.
Everywhere, like if you once you know
Columbus.
The diesel asshole combo, like you can find it anywhere if you look hard enough. So eventually, these years of legal back and forth, they worked out kind of a joint licensing agreement. Instead of continuing the fight, they agreed to share distribution, treat Columbus and Tomahawk. As the same plant. They were genetically the same.
So the result was the industry-based name, CTZ. Here we go. Not brewer, shorthand, legal compromise.
Right. So CTZ wasn't born in the brew house. It wasn't born in the boardroom. It was kind of just this
Columbus,
Tomahawk,
Zeus. Cool.
And it kind of stuck that way. For all the baggage it was carrying, literal and legal, it kind of started. It paved the way that would define American hop scene forever. Oh, so the lawsuits get done, the license agreements are signed, and we got this unified CTZ kind of thing. But still, people are still arguing about whether Columbus and Tomahawk are actually the same hop.
Well, technically they are. I mean, genetically identical. But what does it depend on who grew it? Who handled it, where it came from?
Oh, that's just farming. Like that's agricultural variability from field X over field Y, grown on the south side of the slope, not the fucking east side of the hill.
We have microclimates,
different
here.
Water sourcing,
it does. It can
all of that is going to is going to wreak havoc.
Right, that makes sense. When we're talking about the small variances, like I said, the microclimates, but some brewers swear that they get way more diesel or dank from.
One over
another, yeah.
I mean, I've smelled bags of Columbus that were pure fuel and funk, and Tomahawk, same story. I don't think it's genetic variation. I think it's just kind of like how volatile the hop is. It's cranky. If it does, how cranky does it smell? Is it playing nice with the other kids? Are you handling it carefully? Like oxidation is going to be a thing.
It's going to turn on, yeah. So is this fight over or what? What are we looking at?
Well, legally, yes. Culturally, not really. So again, we're still got some brewers who list them separately on recipes, whether they know it or not, I would like you to use Zeus on this one.
Yeah.
And what do you do? So some customers are going to ask for it based on whatever the recipe's called, one way or the other. I still get people in the shop who swear Zeus is a better dry hop, or that Tomahawk gives a cleaner bitterness.
And what do you think?
I mean, I don't think I only like it. I use it when I have to.
and I get it. It's a big high alpha. It's aggressive. You want to punch up your boils. CTZ comes in like a sledgehammer. I just think you got to open a window when you fucking use it, man.
Ooh, I love the smell. So the hop didn't just bring bitterness to the kettle. It brought a little bit of drama to your brewing world. Open that window. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody walks in. Oh.
Yeah, it's got CTZ. They got one
You just
plant.
threw some CTZ in a kettle, didn't you, Ben?
Yeah. I just CTZ'd all over the place. One
Sound
plant,
up.
3 names, and more opinions, and a bar full of homebrewers on a competition night. So it shows up and it makes a big fat mess. It kind of rewrote the script, and American brewers had a brand new, reliable access to a hop that could deliver massive bitterness and a punch you in the face aroma at pretty much any scale.
Yep, and it showed up right when American brewing was starting to grow out of its light lager phase. Craft breweries were multiplying, and suddenly people wanted that big flavor. Just offered it.
It gave brewers a tool they hadn't had before. Big fat, a hop bomb, unrefined, but effective.
Smelling like cheese.
Old.
Thank you.
It didn't. So that's kind of the thing. CTZ does not have the shelf life that other varietals do, and it's kind of definitely taken a back turn just because of that fact. But for a long time, it was kind of a go-to West Coast IPA, double IPA, anything with an attitude problem. Probably had Columbus in it.
Yeah, it shows up a lot in today's recipes, usually quietly behind the scenes. I mean, I know I've used it a lot. Not on the can usually, but not on the tap handle, but it's there laying the foundations.
It's still a workhorse. Like I said, I still use it in my flagship IPA at the shop, the Sacred Cow. It does the job, and I respect a little bit of its history there. I mean, I don't want to smell it freshly open 11-pound bag of it ever again.
Fair, right.
But we're buying a pre-packaged, so I don't have to.
Right, but
I don't have to do that anymore. It's great.
In terms of the influence, CTZ is up there with Cascade. Is it? I think Cascade is a little bit.
Cascade got the long term action. So
would have helped define this flavor, I guess.
Yeah, CTZ Cascade's kind of like the blue jeans of hops. You can pretty much fucking and it has it lasts longer.
And CTZ is the punch. The punch.
Yeah.
Kind of that same thing, and the punch.
Yeah, I mean, and like Cascade, I've seen 8%.
Now let's review this a minute.
Yeah.
We said earlier that the Cascade, the USDA did the Cascade in 70 or 71.
Right.
And then when did the CTZ come into play?
I would have to look at my notes. I don't know where that
because it definitely
one is.
wasn't that far back.
No, it's kind of the same. It's definitely same era of things. It was, this guy's so Zimmerman. He was. Arguably like one of the most knowledgeable growers of his generation. He was the guy. Part of the legal battle was he I'm probably rushing ahead of the script now, but who cares? We'll figure that out. When he left the breeding program, he joined up with Hop Union and he took kind of his hop with him. That was one of that was his development project. He babied that one.
Columbus.
Yeah. And so trademark, and that's where some of that genetic, it's the same fucking plant. Zimmerman just took it from the breeding program and trademarked a new version. That's where Tomahawk comes in. So you got Columbus and Tomahawk, doing the same thing, genetically the same thing. Zeus shows up, and it's like, well, that's indistinguishably, effectively not different.
How did Zeus get here? I mean, it just grew out of the ground, and I took it and planted it again. You know what I mean?
A wild cultivar. I've been cultivating it from a wild cultivar.
Columbus was right over the
where I snagged a fucking cutting
right
while
over
you
the
weren't
fence.
And effectively that Zeus was doing the exact same job, same alpha acid punch, doing all those things, and it was like, well, sensorily, so Zeus applied for its own trademark,
right?
But because it was so similar to existing trademarks, it was denied. So they couldn't have it. And then there's another legal fight over that because Zeus still wants its own fucking trademark thing. And it's not even genetically similar. But, the patent's you can't even get a patent on it because it's too similar to something else. Yeah. So you have to have more differentiation from one patent to the next. And that's good. It keeps you from changing the green light to the red light on your version and then patent the same fucking widget, whatever.
Right.
Where are we in the fucking script there?
Well, even if you would wear it as a cologne, would you?
No, I wouldn't wear it as a fucking cologne. Like eau de toilette. Yeah, it is eau de toilette. It is eau de toilette on there. So yeah, no, it was still earning a spot in the brewing pantheon. One stinky, bitter, legally complicated hop.
That's it. DCF. CTZ, DCF. Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
My smoothie's almost gone.
Good. Yeah. So
God, that's so
I think
good.
I think it's more like there's more lawyers than breweries at this point, trying to fight over that one.
Well, not bad for a name that has, or a hop that has 3 names.
Right. So now we're going so back. Columbus is in the catalog. It's out there in the world. Brewers are using it. And the industry, the brewing industry's version of a spaghetti western is starting to play out.
You mean there's some shady deals, some standoffs, and nobody really knows who owns what?
Right. And so I mentioned kind of like the legal breakdown. Zimmerman going from the Breeders' Program. He worked at the USDA station in Prosser. He developed it in that clone 917 on public land using federal funds.
Ooh. So that should be a federal patent,
like a public kind of thing, right?
Trademark, yeah.
Yeah. And so I would kind of think so too, but then he left the USDA and took the plant material with him, brought it up to Hop Union, and he filed for a patent.
And one does when you're trying to win the most controversial award of the century.
Most controversial, yeah, might as well. So they start selling Hop Unions, selling Columbus. Yakima Chief enters in the chat. Someone's somewhat still unclear, but they get their hands on the same plant. They don't just sell it; they trademark the name Tomahawk and start moving a fucking ton of it.
So same plant, 2 companies, 2 names, and now 2 claims of the same hop. We're talking.
That's lawsuits. I think there were probably like 9 or 10 of these lawsuits on there. Hop Union sues, Yakima Chief sues back. Meanwhile, Hopsteiner tosses in the Zeus that they've come up with that's similar enough that nobody can tell them apart. And we've got 3 companies with financial stakes in a single genetic profile.
That's crazy. Yeah. And you want to spice this up, we've got the USDA quietly watching from the back of the room, right? Possibly wondering if they should lock their greenhouses.
Yeah, and so there's no like public record of the USDA enforcement, any USDA enforcement against Zimmerman, no criminal charges.
Right.
But some people do argue.
So Zimmerman was at this this
breeding
USDA greenhouse breeding program. Was it associated with the colleges, or the USDA wouldn't be? USDA.
I'd have to look up.
That's pretty high level.
So
for
Prosser,
something like this.
there probably is a Eastern Washington University connection somewhere in there. USDA, probably
Western Washington.
Well, Prosser.
Eastern, but they wouldn't do that.
They got a big ag program. That's where the cheese, all the Cougar Gold cheese come from.
No, that's cheese. That's dairy.
Yeah, but it's a big ag. It's a big ag school.
Okay.
Yeah,
dairy compared to
fuck
hops.
Yeah,
fuck
off. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he stole it. Maybe that was unethical. Maybe,
but there was no criminal charges.
No, so I don't. It's
think water under the hop bridge.
But this whole thing, nobody really looked good on it. The lawsuits and countersuits and tertiary, quaternary.
You go through court.
Yeah.
Things
lots and lots of lawyers, lots of settlements, lots of licensing lots and lots of bullshit.
Did we ever come up with a truce on this?
I mean, that's kind of what the CTZ was. Everybody just sort of, I think they just kind of threw their hands up and said, well, we're never really going to the sun has set on knowing the truth and being able to prove it. I think
people are using Columbus.
What are we going to do? We have to do
people
something.
People are buying Tomahawk now. Now Zeus came in and stuck his claim in the whole thing.
Right.
All right.
And so I don't. So are they fighting about naming rights? I mean, the heart of it was kind of this much bigger question: who is actually in the ownership? So.
Yeah, Charles Zimmerman developed it while working at the USDA, breeding station, and That was a federal research program. So is it public because it was funded by public money?
Yeah. So, but when he left, he did take plant materials with him. And later, filed for a patent in his own name. Not even have the USDA. Just Zimmerman.
It's kind of like me. I mean, if I work for my company right now and I come up with something at my house that could make my company product better, they get the trademark or the patent on it. I get named, but they still have the patent. Depend on the patent for my company. You could get a monetary.
My grandfather's got patents through Boeing for his work at Boeing for stuff. I don't know if he got paid. He got a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. Like
he might have got some of the a bonus. Yeah. Some sort of bonus. Yeah.
And it's kind of murky, and things really got murky in plants during this kind of time too. We mentioned like Monsanto. These are kind of the, some of the shakeups we see in like these new plant patents.
Yeah.
Simcoe
is a new one.
The plant patent itself was brand new in the 70s. Like,
oh yeah,
and we're still kind of like watching that play out.
Well,
what
they started breeding, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Where are we? It changed the whole hop world. Period. After Columbus, patents became a norm. Breeding programs became closed off. NDAs, trademark bundles, proprietary strains, all of that blew up in the decades later. That's kind of, we're talking about Monsanto and kind of the stuff. It all starts kind of right here. And it started with hops, so oddly enough.
So Zimmerman just didn't he just didn't grow hop. He planted a cultural shift in all this.
Whether that was his intent,
his divine,
probably not
divine intervention.
His intent, but yeah, dude kind of let the
hop gods talk.
Yeah, he lit a fire and it came with a stink, literally.
A diesel stink.
Yeah. So Columbus, Tomahawk, Zeus, one plant, 3 camps.
Yeah.
Exactly, 0 chill.
Well, this wasn't just a turf war. It was a full-on hop battle. Hop Union thought that they had the rights to Columbus. Yakima Chief thought that they had trademark Tomahawk, and Hop Steiner was pushing Zeus like, hey, this is basically the same thing, but don't ask too many questions here. I'm in the market too. I'm joining you. Hey,
yeah.
Move over, elbow.
So they all got something. Brewers are confused. Contracts are getting messy. The lawyers were fucking getting paid. That's exactly what's fucking happening.
The core of this fight was this, who had the real legal sell to this hop, under what name? Because patents protect this plant. Trademarks protect the name. And in this case, both were on shaky ground.
Well, I can imagine a little bit like off script here. I can imagine because Zimmerman was involved in both projects labeled as the breeder du jour, each side can make a case like, well, I have the freaking guy responsible for this. So if I don't have it, nobody has a right to it. Nobody does. Zeus being the weird outlier because it's not genetically the same thing, though functionally the same kind of one. Nothing could. I think each camp was kind of at a loggerhead there. Like they both have Zimmerman as involved in Project Columbus and Project Tomahawk.
Yep.
Like his name is on both of these things. So whatever we can prove in court or like that's I think where the combining resolution sort of came from is what do we got at the end of the day?
So lawsuits flew in every direction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they settled quietly? How many of them dragged out for years? At this point, Zimmerman himself was at the center of all these.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody was disputes. Coming out looking great.
I mean, who did patent control? Who got the royalties from all this?
Right.
I mean, even the legitimacy of the original application.
I think depending on who you ask, it was either like Zimmerman would either be like a rogue genius or a guy who just jacked a federal plan and cashed in. Like, I don't know, it's fine.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, eventually everyone realized that the fighting was costing more than the hops was worth, right?
Right.
Yeah, so they all came to a peace deal? Brokered peace, shared license agreement?
Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, I don't think it was justice because each side could make the same claim.
They bundled the claims. It under the acronym then.
Right. I think it wasn't clarity. It was just kind of a business decision. You want to brew with the hops? Fine. Just call it CTZ and fucking move on.
And then the lawsuits faded.
Yeah.
Yep, the name stuck, and CTZ became a quiet powerhouse, especially for those bittering IPA stouts and everything that needed a backbone.
But you still feel the scars, right? Ask 10 breweries what Tomahawk is, and you'll get 10 different
ouch
people on it. Yeah.
Probably Zeus or Columbus, too. Either way, I mean, that hop survived the heat, right? Now it's up to the brewers to figure out how to use it and what to call it. How are they going to order it?
Right. Let's see. It did become a workhorse, the kind of hop you might not want to talk about at parties, but it's still getting the job done. All right, so yeah, it's got a high alpha acid, it's got consistent yields, strong performance in the kettle. Brewers started leaning on CTZ for that charge, and especially when you got to hit those ever increasing IBUs without breaking the bank, right? You don't want to spend an arm and a leg.
I mean, I did.
You certainly can.
Yeah,
but if you didn't have to, that was kind of. I think that was the big push for the higher alpha stuff. Like 1 ounce of this is worth 2 ounces of the other. It's half the fucking price.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to bring that pain. Bring that fucking bitter on. CTZ gives you that bitterness without draining your hop budget.
So I know, and like I've said on the air, and I'll say it again, it smells like onions and diesel and unwashed regret when you're bagging 11 pounds of it.
Nice. The first time I used it, I looked on Craigslist, and somebody is selling a pound of it for like $10. And I drove to Seattle.
Like free.
Yeah. I know. I drove to Seattle, and I went and got it. And I'm like, wow, that's good. He's like, yeah. There's somebody from a local brewery there that they had bought. That was just their last. They couldn't do anything with a few pounds.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So the brewer brought it home, and then ended up selling it to me. I loved it. It last me 8 brews.
Right.
It was great.
Oh, sure.
10 brews at least.
Yeah. So there is there's a cryo hop version of Columbus. I'm told it's an early harvest version, and then they freeze it. They freeze it with liquid nitrogen, the cone, and they can remove more of the useless vegetable material.
And do they make it a extract?
Well, it's still pelletized. They just it's more of the lupulin, more of the resins. So it's kind of like it's more bang for its buck. So 1 ounce of cryo is the same output as 2 ounces of T90 pellets.
Okay.
Which are the standard ones.
Yeah.
The little.
Right.
So they just pelletize it, but they're punchier. So apparently this Columbus, this early harvest one, lacks the gasoline and unwashed gym socks.
Right. It doesn't have that
unwashed gym shorts.
Right. It doesn't have that after yeasty character that grows on the green plant. That's what makes it good.
Yeah. So let's move on to brewing with CTZ. Let's do some tips, some tricks, and some trade-offs. All right, for the brewers in the room, you're probably wondering if I'm going to use CTZ. I'm going to use CTZ. What's the deal? All right, quick pause for the brewers in the room. You're probably wondering, hey, if I'm going to use CTZ, what's the deal here?
Well, here's a short version. CTZ is a hammer. You don't use it to carve out your details of your beer. You use it to drive that bitterness through the floor for the brew house.
So high alpha, 14 to 17%.
Yeah, love it.
Means you can use way less and hit all the IBU targets you want to do, which is great if you're running on a budget and you don't need a big floral poetry in the boil.
Yeah, well, the floral's not going to come with your 60
Not
minute
after 60
addition.
fucking minutes.
Yeah, so it shines for that bittering addition. I mean, let's get in, let's get out. Don't ask for character development on this one. You just want that high alpha.
Yeah, and don't let this one sit around too. The storage stability of this this hot garbage. I'm kidding. The storage it lacked in the storability.
This is where our cheese factor gets raised over time.
Oh yeah,
and you can adjust to using that for your beer in whatever flavor profile you want.
Yeah, keep it cold, keep it dark, away from oxygen.
Yes.
And it's still gonna go. It's still gonna turn faster.
Freeze it.
Yeah.
Freeze it, and yeah, I would recommend vacuum packing and freezing. But if you want to get clever, some folks blend it into this hop shots or extracts for an efficient base bittering for big beers. IPAs, double IPAs, barley wines. You just got to know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of dry hopping with this one for reasons I've stated a lot.
Beef ramen.
Maybe if you like the smell of beef ramen in a gym bag, You can go for that in your beer. That's fine. I'm not here to judge.
I like that flavor.
I remember a funny story. I remember Kevin Pierce at Anacor's Brewery did Strange Brew, and he made a pho beer, and I swear to God, I could taste like,
it didn't taste like
beefy beef and fucking basil kind of like notes in there. I'm like, I can see why you would call it pho. It was Strange Brew. That was part of the show.
Right. I had pho something. What was it lately? It wasn't one of those at Beer Stock, was it?
I don't remember pho at Beer Stock.
Pho beer? No. Maybe a pho beer. I don't know. Okay, well, that
Just
said...
got to get it back into kettle.
Yeah, kettle uses, that's totally legit. Reliable, cost-effective. The bitterness is sharp and clean, and it gets out of the way for whatever you throw in later. So,
yeah,
use of this is amazing.
Use it like the industrial tool it is.
Yep.
Don't ask it to sing. Don't ask it to carry any goddamn weight in the.
It's a bitter hop, so that diesel cheesy fart won't come through in the end.
No, thank God. Thank God. Like, we would not be having this story if that was the case. But it does do something. I still use it. I just hold my nose when I do it.
Right. You just don't want to do a whole hop bag separation of it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's just not unpleasant, but that's really a supply chain problem. When you're going to separate all those, I don't have to worry about it. I just have to come into the shop and buy an ounce at a time.
Right.
So you're all good.
I think kind of the downstream, the craft beer scene kind of exploded. Breweries started searching for newer hops. You got Citra, Mosaic, Galaxies, flashy little flavor grenades with longer shelf life and juicy finishes.
Yep.
There's a lot of popular hops that kind of came out after that.
It did. CTZ never had that kind of aroma game, and it was about brute force, not that fitness.
Yeah. Finesse. Yeah, it got demoted.
Finesse.
It didn't get fired. It just got moved to the supporting role, bulky bittering,
right?
Early edition stuff nobody writes blogs about.
Nope. You can find it on spec sheets, but fewer brewers are bragging about it. So it's kind of like that hop equivalent to powdered milk. You have to have it at the right temperature in order for that to taste good. It's reliable. It's industrial, and only the only exciting thing is running your budget spreadsheet.
That's right.
That's a bottom line.
So it's probably, and it kind of just belongs there. It did its job. It helped build an IPA boom. But beer moved on, palates changed. Brewers didn't want assholes in there. I mean, they didn't want some of those
oils, not assholes.
They want the oils that can stand up and hang out and play with us. Opset travel better. CTZ was not the star.
Right, but here's the thing: if it still changed the game. I mean, maybe not in the all brew houses, but at the contract table, at the bottom line, the patent fights, trademark war, scramble to define the ownership. That was the moment hop breeding stopped being collaborative and start being competitive. So
CTZ it taught brewers how to scale bitters. It taught the industry that hops were intellectual property, that every plant could be protected, monetized, fought over, defended.
It changed everything. How hops were developed.
I wonder about some of the naming problems. Remember
how we used them?
2000s. It seems like every week you heard about a new beer name getting fought over because two brewers are using it. I wonder how much of that stems from the CTZ fight, kind of the way the CTZ fight started out in the 70s. We're still doing the same kind of arguing with ourselves in the 90s and 2000s about
what are you naming your beer? An IPA? Right? No, mine's this IPA. IPA. Yeah.
Interesting sidelines.
Ratatouille.
CTZ is not going to headline. It's not going to be front of house anymore. But if you dig into the bones of the modern brewery, the contracts, breeding programs, IPA law, it's all in there. All the CTZ.
Well, CTD, it didn't vanish. It became just the background radiation, the kind of influence that didn't show up in the glass, but everywhere behind the scenes.
Yeah, if you ever sign an NDA, if you go to a hop farm or hell, even Maltster these days, you might have to sign an NDA for a new hop trial or new grain program. That's CTZ is in that work that's being done. Its legacy lives there.
Well, it reshaped of what it meant to own a hop.
So every time you see that trademark cultivar that costs more per pound than a steak, That's the ghost of CTZ.
Right.
Right.
Well, they want to control it. They need to defend it. It's just not agricultural policy. It's like the way beer history baked into the legal system.
So yeah, it's still on the shelf, still getting bagged up, still going to be in the kettle for some brewers who needs a little extra in the bittering charge. As long as they don't care that it smells like a truck stop onion rings on the way in.
That would be cheesy onion rings, please. It's not that comeback. It doesn't need a comeback. It's just a redemption arc. It's just the survival. CTZ outlived the hype, outlived the lawsuits, and now it is part of the brewing landscape.
Even if it gets no credit, it did change kind of like what we expect from hop and what hop companies can expect from each other.
Yeah. So maybe it's not your favorite, Ben, but it never was. But still, it matters. CTZ made sure that the hop world would never be the same again.
So what's the big takeaway for a hop like CTZ? It's not just about onion stank and courtroom drama.
It's the behind every pound of the hops in a triangle of stories, breeding programs, lawsuits, names that stick, names that vanish, and choices that echo way beyond the boil.
It taught us things that hops could come with baggage, with a little more history, with actual paperwork.
And that knowledge, that's the real legacy. Now, when a new hop hits the market, we ask, where did it come from? Who owns it? What are the terms?
Right. Forced us to grow up a little bit in the hop industry, in the beer industry in general. We're thinking about an industry, not just a bunch of folks tossing hop cones into a kettle and hoping for magic.
Right. I mean, that awareness changed how we evaluate the hops, how we buy them, how we breed the next generation. It made us sharper and maybe a little more skeptical.
As far as the business side of things, perhaps... I think there's a lot of good things in there. We're making better beer now. We're asking better questions. And it's not, we're not just being careful about who gets to name the next hop. I think, our knowledge base has blown up around us, and we're making better decisions based on the kind of cool things we had today.
Yep. Well, I mean, if all else, CTZ gave us one hell of a brewing fable, bittering hop with a bitter history.
Yeah.
Smells like cheese.
And somewhere out there, there's still a brewer shoving a bag into the kettle thinking, man, what is that smell?
That's good. That smells good.
CTZ.
One hop.
3 names.
Yeah. A handful of lawsuits. Jesus. Legacy.
If I get to make, how many times can I make the onions and gasoline?
Onions and gasoline.
We'll try it again. We'll cram another one in.
Cheesy diesel cheesy fart.
So if you're gonna brew
cheesy diesel farts,
diesel farts. Oh,
cheesy diesel farts.
DSLF. Diesel fart. I don't know. Yeah.
Cheesy CDF cheesy diesel farts.
So if you're brewing with CTZ or just reading the back of the bag and wondering what the heck is going on with Columbus, Tomahawk, and Zeus, what does that even mean? Know you're holding up a hop that fought harder than most to be here.
And lost just enough to be remembered for it.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.